Happy November 6th. I cannot believe we are nearly a week into NaNoWriMo already. That is crazy. I'm already behind. I'm already frustratingly behind. I've been under on my writing goals for the last 3 days, but this week has just been really hectic. This is my last week of being overbooked. So I have high hopes that starting at next week, I'm just going to have a much better schedule to handle NaNoWriMo. And there's this sort of air, and I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody, but there's this expectation if you are a writer and a creator and participating in NaNoWriMo that you're going to be really present during the beginning for kickoff events and live streams and just vlogs and stuff like that. And I wasn't able to do any of that this year. I just made the decision kind of last minute. It was like October 30th or 31st. I was like, I don't have the time and I can't do it. It's just kind of been a self-care week, which has been great. There are so many moving parts in my life right now, considering that I was under on my goals for the last 3 days. If I would have been like editing and vlogging and stuff along with that, I wouldn't have even been able to get done what I did get done. But I think I had the best NaNoWriMo day one I've ever had so far between all of the NaNoWriMo events. I went to lunch with my parents and then we went back to their house. Me and my dad are both participating in NaNoWriMo this year, and we took a group nap. It was amazing. And then me and my dad got up and we made some iced coffee and we just sat and we wrote off and on. We wrote and talked for a little bit and wrote, and we just had a really productive writing day and we both met our goals, and it was just low stress. I didn't have anything to worry about. I was able to meet my goal again on Monday. It was a little bit hard, but I did push to meet it. And then on the 3rd, I was off work, but I had 1,000 things to do, and it was a lot of like working on editing stuff and working on YouTube stuff, and I just was off Starbucks. So I said, okay, well, I'll do 3,000 words today, and I only made it to right under 2,000 before I absolutely gave up, and I was like, I have no more time. I have to do these other things. But I'm still really proud of that. I wrote 1,962 words, and even though it was under my goal, that's a lot of words to write in a day, and I'm really excited about it. What I'm disappointed about are the last 2 days. I scheduled myself 1,000 words per day because I worked long shifts at work. I worked from 9 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon one day and 6 the other day, and I just thought like 1,000 words, I'll sit down for an hour and a half. But the first day I had to go grocery shopping because I didn't have any groceries and I didn't realize that. And then I made dinner and then I did my writing and I had to answer some emails and lame stuff like that. But I really got to about 500 words and then I was brain dead and I couldn't write anymore. I was tired. I went to bed. And the next day, I had forgotten I had class. That's how busy I am. This was my first week of class, and I totally forgot that I even had to go to class. So I wrote another 500 words. That's I like that to be my minimum, if at all possible. And then I sat through class for an hour and a half, and I think this class is going to be very challenging, but I'm also really excited. My teacher has a good way of speaking where it wasn't very boring, so I'm looking forward to that. This is my developmental editing for fiction class, so it's very hyper-focused on the area where I want to work. I do offer copy editing and proofreading services now. I took all those classes, and I'm all good to go and certified in that, but developmental editing, I feel like, is the meat of the fun when it comes to adjusting stories. I also think it'll help a lot with my projects, and these fast drafting NaNoWriMo projects always need a lot of work afterwards. I'm just really excited that I'm finally able to take this class. This class is one of the reasons I enrolled in the program. So today I have 3,000 words on my schedule. It's about 11 o'clock, so it's not really early, but it's not really late either. I am in total, as of last night, 2,000 words behind. Yesterday I wanted to be at 8,000. I ended up at 6,118, which I still think is pretty good, but it's definitely under the NaNoWriMo recommendations, and it's also under my goals, so I really want to kick it into gears. So today I'm actually going to be shooting for 5,000 words. My official goal on my calendar is 3,000, and if I hit 3,000 and I just can't seem to write anymore, or I can't focus, I'm totally okay with that. But if I hit 5,000, then I meet my first milestone of 10,000 words. I also catch up to where the NaNoWriMo website recommends that I should be, and I catch up to my goals, all with that one 5,000 words. So I think it would be good to really push for that. I think it would be a lot better to have maybe 3 or 4 crunch days throughout the month instead of crunching like all of the last week to get the word count in. So that's what I'm going for today. So the plan for that is I'm probably going to sit down and write for a couple hours, and then I'll get up and I'll do something non-writing related, maybe throw in a load of laundry, maybe read a chapter or 2 of my book, maybe do some yoga, and then I'm going to sit back down and write again. Me and my dad do have plans to get together around 5 o'clock, and we're going to go out and get coffee, and we're going to sit down and have our own little write-in. I cannot express how excited I am that he is participating again this year. He participated last year, and it was really his first time, I think, sitting and trying to write a novel, but this year he has like beaten me on word count every single day. So it's a really good motivator to be able to have somebody I can actually see in person and write with and talk about and compare goals with, because a lot of the in-person write-ins this year are canceled. So I hope you guys are finding somebody around your area that you can sit in and write with. I find it to be a lot more motivating than the virtual write-ins, which I do like, but it's different. I'm probably going to get the majority of my writing today done with him at his house, because while I'm here, it's just going to be like, write, do a chore, things like that. So whenever I leave here and I don't have the opportunity to stop to throw a load of laundry in or whatever, then I'm going to be more focused on my project. So if I can get like, I'll say 2,000 words done before I go over to his house, I think that would be pretty magical. So it is November 7th. I can't believe we're an entire week into NaNoWriMo, and I'm already behind. I think I talked about this in my last check-in, but I caught up a little bit, so I'm about 1,500 words behind for the week, but that's definitely not as bad as it could have been. I think I'm going to take my like goals calendar that I use, and I'm going to make a little note section underneath it where I write some scheduling mishaps. So for example, on Thursday I forgot I had class. It was my first class of this new course. I totally forgot when I was making like my word count goal, and I scheduled myself more words than I had time for. So I think I'm just going to make notes like, oh hey, this happened. I also scheduled myself 3,000 words just every day I was off Starbucks. That was like a thing that I just did across the week, and I had 2 days off, but they weren't like, they were separated in the week, and I think that made it really hard to hit 3,000 words, because on my 1 day off it was a lot of just recovery. Like I needed to make sure I had work clothes, and I did have some time to relax. If I was seeing my family, I watched my niece a lot, so I think I just guesstimated what I was going to be mentally available for a little bit wrong, if that makes sense. But I want to have those little notes so in future NaNoWriMo projects I can look back on what I scheduled and I can say, okay, these days this was a little bit too much, these days this wasn't enough, and then I have a little bit of reference to go with that as well. But I think it was a pretty good week. I am a little disappointed that I didn't meet my goal for the week, but I do understand that I signed myself up for too much, which is something I do all the time. And I did hit my first milestone of 10,000 words, so that was really exciting. I think I mentioned this in the last check-in, but I'm experimenting with the reward system, really just as a way of celebrating and self-care. So I'm going to pick out probably today or tomorrow. It's a little bit late now, so it'll probably end up being tomorrow. Originally, I was just going to buy one candle from like a bookish candle distributor, but I found this website from the page, and I think their regular priced candles, like their 8-ounce candles, can be like $20-ish, which really isn't that much for a soy candle that burns as long as it does. But they have a deal where you can pick 4 scents in 2-ounce sizes for $12.50, and I was so excited about that. So my first milestone reward is going to be some bookish candles, because it's something I really like to use while I'm writing, and I'm just a candle fanatic, so it's really fun for me to get like that kind of thing. I burn candles all the time, while I'm writing, while I'm cleaning, while I'm reading. I love scents, so I have like an oil diffuser and a wax melter, but I think candles are always going to be my favorite, and I hope you guys are treating yourselves to some of your favorite during NaNoWriMo as well. I would really like to say that I'm going to catch up tomorrow, but I have a lot of YouTube stuff to do, and I have a date with my grandmother, so if I hit my bare minimum 2,000 words, I think that's pretty great. I am off Starbucks again on Monday, and I have some edits to do, but my goal for Monday is 3,000 words. So normally, like if I have a higher word count goal like that, I don't usually push for extra, but I would really like to make up my 1,500 words that I'm short as soon as possible. So Monday's my goal for that currently. So it has been 3 days since my last update. It is November 11th. The reason for that is I have been very sick. And that's why I'm filming this in the morning, because I don't really know how my day is going to play out and how I'm going to be feeling in the evening. But long, gruesome story, short and sweet. I have this weird condition that is very temporary and used to be very manageable, where my bones in my shoulders and my neck and the muscles in my shoulders and my neck aren't really agreeing with each other on the position they want to be, and this causes just extreme migraines and nausea. So I worked for only about 5 hours yesterday, and through my whole shift I just felt my head getting worse and worse and worse, and by the time I came home I was totally like out of commission and couldn't write. So a few days ago, whenever I started feeling these symptoms that I was familiar with, I struggled with this a lot in the summer, which is why I have some gaps in when I was filming, but I recognized the symptoms really early on, and I think it was the 8th was the first day I started feeling sick, and it was Sunday, so the chiropractor office is closed. That is the best way to sort of deal with this, is they punch my bones back in place and readjust where my bones are supposed to be, and then they trigger point therapy my muscles, and it makes my muscles hold on to the bones the way that they're supposed to be. So on Monday, the next day when they were open, I went in, I was like, this is what's happening, and she was like, cool, let's get on top of it before it gets serious. And I don't know if it was the adjustment itself or if it is this thing that I'm struggling with, but all of yesterday it was horrible. Now, the first day that I started feeling symptoms, it was a very mild. I did get 900 words done. I was really excited about that. It was over 1,000 under my goal, but I was really excited I was able to sit down and do anything. Yesterday and the day before, I got between 450 and 500 words done, and yesterday, particularly when I was really sick, it took from 2:30 in the afternoon till 11 o'clock when I climbed in bed for the last time for me to get 452 words in. So that set me really behind. My word count for yesterday was 2,000. My word count for Monday was 3,000 because I was off almost everything. I didn't have anything scheduled and I was off work. And my word count for Sunday, the day before, was also 2,000. I am over 6,000 words behind now. I only work until 5 today, so I'm really hoping that what was going on yesterday was sort of just backlash after getting adjusted, that the toxins were seeping out of my muscles, because that's what happens whenever you get chiropracted, and I'm really hoping that by the time I come home today, I'm going to be able to write. But I'm checking in with you guys now, because if I don't check in for the next few days, or if this is the end of the vlog, that's why.
I see the stars and the planets soon follow.
Happy Friday the 13th. It's been a couple days since I've checked in, but I'm actually only going to be checking in through last night. I haven't really done a lot of writing today, but I really wanted to end the vlog on a way more positive note. So the other day when I checked in and I wasn't feeling well in the morning, I wasn't feeling amazing when I came home, which is why I didn't check in with you guys on video, but I was feeling okay-ish. I was feeling stable, and I did get a lot of writing done, so I was really excited about that. I got about 1,107 words done of my 1,000 word goal, so I was able to beat my goal by just a little bit. So since that rough couple of days, I have been getting better and more stable each day, which has been very exciting. So I met my goal 2 days ago, and yesterday was supposed to be a 3,000 word day. I got 3,200 words. I'm still between 5,000 and 6,000 words behind, but even doing a couple extra 100 words a day will get me a little bit closer, you know? Today was another 3,000 word day. I had originally thought it would be a good idea to do a 5K, but I have a lot of homework that I have to catch up to now, so I don't think a 5K is like really in the question for today. But looking at my schedule, I feel like I have a lot of hope. So my like weekly goals, they're a little bit sporadic because I made them based on my work schedule, but this last week I only had 10,000 words. Now there's 2 reasons I do that. One, because I'm always more excited at the beginning of the month, so I do heavier goals, but also towards the end of the month I am a little stressed out, I'm feeling burnout, stuff like that, so I try to do a lighter load. I also know that I'm going to be behind and I'm going to be crunching, because I don't think I've ever had a nano project where I've just hit my goal every single day. And that's just because I'm human and things happen, and that's fine. So if I can get within 3,000 words of what my target goal is through the last couple days of this week and all of next week, then I could tack that onto that last week, and I don't think it would be too bad of a problem. I am currently flirting with the idea of doing a 5K word day on either Sunday or Monday. I'll definitely get back to you guys about which one I want to do, and I would love to do live streams if any of you creators are seeing this and would like to do live streams, or if any of you guys have a suggestion on which day you would prefer to do live streams. My ears are open. But I am feeling way more energetic, way more myself, and I have solid plans to catch up. So I'll probably either add some post-it notes here on this page or on my weekly spreads, just describing how I want to catch up. That way I can't forget. I feel a little bit scatterbrained right now. It was honestly the worst of it though. So I have high hopes, and I will be checking in with you guys in the next vlog about 5K days, my new project, and my next milestones.